Green this time by.
For those technical-minded people, these cars can go about 50 laps on a tank of fuel.
Pace car's bringing him down. Pace car's still out. Watch. There's the move. It's in. It's on.
Irvin might have a little jump on Dale Earnhardt as they go into turn one there. Usually Earnhardt gets a tremendous jump, but as you can see, Irvin on the outside there getting side by side with Earnhardt as they start down the long back straightaway here.
And 3 wide. Marlin to the inside. We talked about how racy they were in practice. 3 times they had to bring them in. 4.
Because they were racing 2 and 3 abreast.
And 4 wide going into turn 1 once.
But Marlin had to back off that time going into the turn.
Look how far Earnhardt has slipped back through the field. He's dropped some 8 or 9 positions. That's him right there in the 3 car. He starts down the front straightaway. He did not have a good start.
Well, he wanted to lead that first lap. There are 5 bonus points that goes to any driver who leads a lap.
4 wide for a moment through the tri-oval as Earnhardt hung it on the bottom. Staying in front, Ernie Irvan, Schrader second, Marlin third, John Andretti up to 4th, Jeff Gordon in there in 5th.
It takes about 2 laps for these cars to get up to full speed because of the restrictions that are put on the carburetor and the engines.
Riding with Gordon. See Schrader pocketed just down inside of him, John Andretti just in front.
You know, Ned, just as it was in the 125, you see Ernie Irvan moving along there. That car is really hooked up. The people that hadn't got to watch practice this week, the Fords and the Pontiacs have really closed the gap in downforce. The cars really handle as well as Chevrolets, and where, as you can see right now, they can run high or low. It's really fast this year.
Andretti going high. Look how high he's going, trying to take over the lead up there. Jeff Gordon's going to try to follow him through, and look what he's doing for Ernie Irvan.
Dropping him back. That middle is not the place to be.
Absolutely not. He wants to get out of there as quick as he can.
Schrader leading.
Here comes Earnhardt, making it 4 deep, going under Dale Jarrett and Ernie Irvan. Jarrett backed off and let Irvan get back in. That's his teammate, so he wanted to give him a spot back before he went too far back.
You know, that's an average day at the office for Earnhardt. He makes those moves all 500 miles of this race. That's very common for him to make a move like that.
Back to the tri-oval. 7.5 miles down with Schrader out in front. Dick Berggren has this report.
Richard Childress says don't worry about his driver, Dale Earnhardt. They just got to run on him at the start. Nothing's wrong with the car. They are fine. Ken Squire.
Locked in the battle for 5th place with Gordon. There you see Gordon trying the outside. They've got Labonte in the middle.
Now, Terry's a very patient person. He'll fall out of that group. He does not like the middle part of this pack, I guarantee you.
He is a cool customer.
See John Andretti there, the 37 car. Everybody says he's a dark horse in this race. I don't think he's dark horse. He's run well all week long. In practice, he's been one of the fastest cars here.
So versatile, just like his famous uncle. Midget, sprint, stocks.
Of course, his famous uncle is Mario Andretti, who won the Daytona 500 back in 1967. There they go.
For the lead. Right back at it another time. Earnhardt squirrels that car onto the bottom of the track, squares it away in turn number 2. What a move, and here comes Texas Terry right along with him.
One car has slowed dramatically coming off of turn 2. It is Dick Trickle off the pace.
And he was having a great run in that final happy hour of practice on Saturday. He was as formidable as anything out here. Now the car is slowing down. Oh, car in trouble. It's Jeff Gordon in the wall. Warden pasted the wall, picked it back up. He's trying to work his way to the bottom of the track. He couldn't get in. Everybody's still swirling. There goes the 29. The guy that won yesterday, Grissom loose. He gets tagged by Nemechek. 2 more cars spinning. Is that Rusty Wallace getting tagged? Wallace working his way up, and Rick Mast in that collision. Well, that's what we were concerned about when you run them that tight together. Gordon made an incredible recovery. But behind him, everybody trying to take evasive action.
You see Earnhardt waving there to let everybody know there's a problem on the racetrack. That's so people don't run up behind him too fast and maybe collect him.
Jeff Gordon, who tagged the wall, coming off 4. Grissom's number 29. Let's get to Mike Joy.
Jeff Gordon says he was hit from behind. He has a rear tire going down, and he reports no fuel pressure. They may put this car behind the wall or take it to the garage, Ken.
Cut a line.
He's got a lot of damage on that car. I noticed the rear end housing looked like it's moved over a little bit, and the right front was mashed down pretty bad.
Watch Gordon at number 24.
High up on the racetrack. They're almost 3 deep there, and yes, he does get tagged just a little bit.
That's
from
Jeremy Mayfield just behind him in the RCA car. He got into him and turned him in. He just got into the wall pretty hard there.
What a recovery.
Now behind him, that's just a chain reaction when you have everybody slowing down. The cars further back in there couldn't react fast enough.
Here's Gordon getting tagged.
Boy, he tagged that wall pretty good, too. And he's trying to get it down to the inside, but as Buddy said, as everybody else trying to take evasive action, try to slow down, they get hit, spun around, and a lot of things going on then behind him.
All that smoke you see there, that's the tires rubbing on the inner panels and all. Wow, he hits hard.
Mayfield right behind him. Fades down, and Mayfield getting through there. But it's the ones just behind those two who really had a story to tell. Take a look at this angle.
See, Jeremy gets just into the left rear corner and hard into the wall. Jeff Gordon goes.
What, 187 miles an hour, and he still picked it up. Oh, a great move.
There goes Steve Grissom across the grass in the 29 car.
And unfortunately, he slides back up on the track and gets tagged by
Nemechek.
Joe Nemechek.
There you see Wallace, who'd started dead last, and Rick Mast in the number 1, landing right in the center of the track.
Dale Jarrett made a run on Ken Schrader, got by him going into turn 1. Moves him up to 4th. So that was one car that I saw pull out and make a pass without any help. A little surprising, really.
Bernie Irvin got his break.
Boy,
from Dale Earnhardt. He almost got into his tail end that time.
He really did.
Whoa, it's close. Look at this battle for the lead. That's Ernie Irvin strutting his stuff. This looks like the first lap as they came down. But Kraft is on the inside. Those 3 working together. There's Dale Jarrett down there in that 88. Pressing right through with Ernie Irvin and Terry Labonte. Terry Labonte into 2nd. Irvin drops back a couple of spots.
See Sterling.
Take a look just a little further back here. I'll tell you, see that green car up on the outside? That's that number 71. You know who that is? That is the guy making his 29th start in this race, Dave Marcus. Right there. Fighting with Jeremy Mayfield and as well with the number 99 of Jeff Burton, Burton's brother. But Dave Marcus is having a great ride. He's got a new sponsor up there and running in 13th at the present time.
Doing a great job. That sponsorship, he says, will let him hire some more people and also do a little better work on their engines. Here's Terry Labonte going for the lead.
There is another dark horse that can win it all. This is his 18th start in the 500. I mean, he's right in there with Earnhardt. Earnhardt has sort of covered everyone else up with his misfortunes in this race. But Terry Labonte has been so close. 20 cars in that lead pack that you're watching right now. Terry Labonte starting this race. That was his 507th consecutive start. 7 more, and he'll break Richard Petty's record of 513 that Richard set back in that period from 71 to 89. That's the guy that's out in front right now, Texas Terry Labonte in number 5.
Well, he's going to lead for a second, but there's a couple of cars just behind him that don't like running 2nd and 3rd, and that's Ernie Irvin in 3rd place. In 2nd place there, Dale Earnhardt. You watch for them to make a move here pretty quick.
21 laps have now been completed in the 38th running of the Daytona 500. 21 laps, 52.5 miles, with Terry Labonte now leading. 11 cars in the lead draft. As you watch number 88, Dale Jarrett, pressing on the inside, moving himself to 5th as he gets under Wally Dallenbach, and still continues to climb that number 88 back into this race. A 93 winner. You've got 11 cars running less than a half second apart.
Here's Sterling Marlin and Dallenbach running side by side there for the 6th position. And it doesn't take long. Those front 5 cars will pull away quickly if they continue to run side by side. But up front, we've got some cars running side by side, too.
Yes, Ernie Irvin's on the inside there. Terry Labonte's going with him. Oh, he's going to make it 3 wide going in the corner there.
And bringing Schrader. Schrader dives to the inside with his teammate from Hendrick Racing. And Labonte goes back up into the lead. Earnhardt back to 2nd. Schrader on the inside on the comeback trail from a miserable 1995. Last race of the year, went to Atlanta and it blew up. He said, there, that's good. That finishes this year. We'll start afresh in 96. Right now, oh, here comes down to the inside Dale Jarrett in number 88. Nice move by Jarrett in the 2nd spot. The Ford Quality Care, number 88, down on the bottom. That's the picture from Earnhardt's car. Schrader inches that number 25 up. They almost touch at 190 miles an hour. Live on CBS, the 38th running of the Daytona 500. Jarrett going for the lead.
He, like everybody else, wants to get 5 bonus points if he possibly can.
Ford on the inside, Chevy on the outside. And down to the line they come. It looks like it's going to be Jarrett picking up those points. But Schrader makes a move. Ooh, almost touched on the number 3.
Here comes Earnhardt back on the outside, trying to get back up to the lead. Oh, we have contact. Ernie Irvin into the wall.
Ernie Irvin getting slapped coming out of the tri-oval and lifting. A lot of smoke pouring out of that car. He's still up on the high side.
And I think there's a lot of damage to that car, Ken, unfortunately.
Caution not out as yet. He stays way up on the track.
Caution is coming out.
Caution now out. Racing back to the line early in the race.
Here come the leaders.
Jarrett, Labonte, Marlin, Schrader, Waltrip, Dallenbach, Rudd, Ward Burton leading the entire field down on the pit road. Going to be busy down there for a moment. Speed limit on pit road today?
65. Feels like they're crawling after running 190 miles an hour out on the racetrack.
Earnhardt in. Take a look under caution here as they continue with Dale Jarrett's car on the top of your screen. Labonte, Sterling Marlin all out under caution. See the activity along pit road as they try to get out here. And track position will be critical in this 500. Green coming back with Robert Presley in that green and white number 33. Jackson Racing bringing the field down, and 28-year-old Jeremy made that number 98 in 2nd spot.
And how about that 33 car Robert Presley out front? Andy Petrie is the crew chief on that car this year. He was the crew chief for Dale Earnhardt for the last 3 years. They won 2 championships while Andy was there, but he went over to the Leo Jackson team. Robert Presley in his 2nd year as a driver in Winston Cup Racing up front here right now.
Andy to get a little piece of that team as well. Look at Michael Waltrip making his move on the outside for the Wood brothers, and Sterling Marlin coming with him.
And he figures maybe that Michael might be faster right now, and so he's going to follow and push him right through there. And boy, you can do so much in the draft here. Oh boy, he just dipped down to the inside, and buddy, that's an indication if he only took on 2 tires, might have a tough time keeping it down low on the racetrack.
Well, you can see that the 21 of Michael Waltrip's handling very well. He was high on the racetrack, turned down and went under Robert Presley. But I don't know that I would have wanted to leave Marlin that quick. I would have probably took him with me, but it's working right now. Michael Waltrip is going into the lead into turn 1. You see Presley fighting back on the outside.
And you see another Ford backed right up behind the 21. The 300th start for Michael Waltrip, still scratching for that first win.
Boy, look at him. take off into turn 3 there, Betty.
Wally Dallenbach's all the way down on the apron. He needs to get back up on that racetrack before he gets to the corner. You saw Ward Burton going in there on the flat.
Ward Burton right on the bottom in the 22 gets himself up. Here's 98, Jeremy Mayfield making that run. Take a look at Jeremy Mayfield's telemetry out here in the number 98 as he comes by, spurs himself up for second place.
Wow, 7,300 with the restrictor plate. That's pretty strong, Ned. That draft is really working. You see 193 there on the straightaway.
Well, he got up to 198 just before he went into that turn, and then he got into the turn, it backed down a little bit. And you can see it picking up as he goes down the backstretch as they get in that draft. 196, 97 we saw there one time.
Well, Cale Yarborough has put all of his eggs in this Mayfield basket, and it looks like he's made a great choice. And look, back to second spot from 6 comes car number 88.
It just don't hardly get any better than this, Ken. Look, 2 by 2 as they head down into turn 1. That's at 198 miles an hour. They turn off. They scrub off a little speed, as Ned said, in the corner. But look at Texas Terry come up there in second place in the number 5 car. John Andretti in third.
And here comes Schrader back another time. Jeremy Mayfield falling back 4 spots after he left the Tri-Oval and headed for turn 1. Talk about driver racing. Mayfield getting hung out there, and John Andretti for the moment trying to win this one for Tim Brewer, who as a crew chief has never won this race. Here's Dick Berggren.
Well, Ernie Irvin is out of the car. He's taking a walk around, taking a look at the damage. How bad is this thing?
Well, it's not good enough to be able to out there racing wide open. So they're going to go ahead and try to fix it. Just we'll get back out there and try to get her some points.
And he won his 125-mile qualifier, but today it's in the junkyard. Mike Joy?
Dick, that first set of tires off Dale Earnhardt's car showed that the right rear was worn half again as much as the left rear. Earnhardt's car was really loose in that first run. Ken?
It may have been loose, but let's see what's going to happen now as he gets to this point where we're up toward 90 miles. He can clamber back into this thing.
Tell you who's really been losing on this right here was Sterling Marlin. He chose to go on the outside up there behind Robert Presley. Hadn't been able to get out from up there. He's still in that line up on the outside, and others just going by him down on the inside.
That number 3 car of Earnhardt fought its way back to 9th. Now he's trying to close in on these leaders. As you see, Andretti, Labonte, Dale Jarrett leading that group. Kenny Schrader, Wally Dallenbach there, and Ward Burton in that 22. Earnhardt from 15th back to 7th and trying to close in on this flock of cars. Here's the number 5 back again for the lead, Terry Labonte.
And the train will go by. He went by on the inside, and Dale Jarrett just caught there.
You can see what the draft means to any race car here. When you have 4 or 5 cars lined up in a line like that and you get out of the draft, boy, you're at the mercy of the court. You see Dale Jarrett went from the lead to 6th in just 1 straightaway.
Let's watch and listen to Terry Labonte as he cranks one out here.
Never having won the Daytona 500, but there are a lot of other guys who haven't won the Daytona 500, like John Andretti, who is running in second spot right now, and his crew chief, Tim Brewer, who has started over 600 races in his career, won 53 of them, never at Daytona. How about it, Tim? Is this your best shot at this thing?
You know, we've had some pretty good opportunities over the years with Bill Elliott, Cale Yarborough, but, you know, we've always come up like second place. But, you know, that's one of those deals to where...
Trouble on the racetrack.
We've got trouble on the racetrack, and it may be Derek Coates, number 12, throwing out a lot of smoke coming down through the Tri-Oval area. He, too, is tagged hard. Kenny Schrader waving the rest of the field off if there's been trouble ahead. Bobby Allison Racing. Guy that won this race in 1990, Derek Coate, brings the car to rest after trouble up here in turn 4. It's become Calamity Corner again today, turn 4 here at Daytona.
Man, a lot of damage on that right front corner, the right rear. You can see the front fenders peel back all the way, and it's hanging back past the door.
replay from behind. Let's see if we can catch what happened here.
You know, Ned, it looked like the car might have been pushing a little bit, and he tried to keep his foot in it coming off the corner, and maybe just got into the wall.
I think we have another angle here. Maybe that's already in the wall. I wonder if something happened in a second or two before that as he was coming just off the corner. Back with you at Daytona, and for the first time in this race, Sterling Marlin has assumed the lead. First laps he's led. He's led 2 of them now. You see Andretti in second. Where is Earnhardt? He's falling back. He is out of the top 8, and here you see another move being made by Dale Jarrett to take him out of the top 10.
Again, very uncharacteristic. He just moved over and let the front group go, and he's falling back now.
There it was. That was 3rd spot, and all of a sudden, John Andretti put the blitz on the inside. He was followed through by Schrader. Here comes Ricky Rudd, and here comes Dick Berggren to tell us more about this.
Well, we're going to let David Smith tell you what's going on with Dale Earnhardt. He's the brand new crew chief. David, what's happening?
Well, right now, just the way the draft's working out, Dick, it's just, you know, a guy gets under your back end and gets you a little bit loose, and then everybody freight trains you. We're not, you know, we're pretty good, but if somebody gets in the right place, they get you loose. So he'll just work his way back up again. He's not hollering a whole lot.
As long as he's not hollering. Ken Squire?
So that's at 78 laps, 195 miles. He's staying in the lead lap, but they're saying he doesn't want to be up in there.
Wait a minute. Something happened to the 4 cars. Sterling Marlin off the pace, definitely.
Sterling Marlin attempting to be the first driver in history, and he's coming down through the gears.
Yeah, that spells big trouble there, it looks like. And the report is that maybe he has an engine problem.
Sterling Marlin's hopes for the 500 look like they're turning sour right now, as does his engine.
You could see him reach up and shut the switch off just as he entered turn 3 there. You could see smoke coming up in the cockpit of the race car there.
3rd in points a year ago behind Gordon and Earnhardt in that great battle right down to the end of the season at Atlanta. It looks like it may be over for Sterling Marlin today, for sure, with as many as 30 cars still in that lead draft. To go down a couple of laps here is going to hurt you bad. 73-74. Petty tried and failed. 83-84. Cale, so close, and he failed. And now Sterling Marlin, in trying to become the first man to win it 3 in a row, sees it end early. Here's Mike Joy.
He's coasted in, Ken, and the engine is not running. Tony Glover goes to the, and his crew go to the hood pins. They're going to lift the hood. Sterling is not unhooking as of yet. And they're going to have a look inside. He may have crushed into somebody. They're looking down at the right front suspension. A little puff of oil smoke as he refires the motor. And a bit of smoke out the header pipe. They are not sure what's wrong just yet.
Boy, sounds pretty strong for something blown up to me.
It does.
Mystery surrounding car number 4, 2-time defending 500 champion, Sterling Marlin. John Andretti, no mystery. He's put that Ford right out in front. Back with those leaders.
There we saw Ernie Irvin down on the inside. He's back out there just making some laps, many laps down.
But making a move to get himself out in front. That's Schrader.
Boy, Schrader's showing a lot of horsepower right now. He moved right to the bottom of John Andretti, but look at John. He says, hey, I enjoyed running up front here at Daytona. He looks like he has a lot of race car. There's a story we're going to talk about in a little bit about John Andretti's car.
Look at that. Schrader right back by him another time, and here comes Andretti back to dish it out again on the high side.
And what this is going to do, it's going to tighten everybody up, and we're going to see some more side-by-side racing behind them because they sucked right up to them. You get 2 cars running side by side, and it really creates a wide draft.
Ford on the outside, Chevy on the inside, seesawing back and forth as you watch it live. 190-mile-an-hour fracas here. John Andretti has said racing to me is not fun if you're not winning. And that little impish smile must be from ear to ear as he goes for it. And here comes Earnhardt into it. And here comes Ricky Rudd and McDonald and everybody else. Oh, what a race.
Now, John Andretti done something very smart there. He looked in his mirror. He could see Earnhardt coming. He tucked right in behind Schrader. Now Earnhardt's out to dry again on the outside.
Schrader back into the lead another time. Everybody watching as they come to the stripe.
It's a $10,000 bonus.
Yeah. Look at Andretti cutting to the inside. Andretti moving up through, and here comes Earnhardt as well. But the halfway mark, the cross flags, went to Schrader for $10,000.
Bill Elliott there making a move on Schrader now. He's trying to get up in the mix here.
Tell you what, whenever you put an extra prize up in a race, those drivers just seem to perk up. Makes a whole different race out of it for a moment or two. Schrader just stuck it out there, collected that extra money.
Dale Jarrett moving in there. He's trying to move up and get himself in position.
Ned, I can remember stories from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where they used to put up a free barbecue at the Piggy Park, and Baker'd go by 5 guys, about 2 laps.
Absolutely, get a free barbecue. Well, there's 4 cars singling out, trying to pull away. Andretti the leader, of course. Earnhardt second, Bill Elliott third, Dale Jarrett in 4th place.
Boy, that's 3 Fords up front. It's been a long time since you've seen a Ford able to run a full gas stop and still be in front. They have good downforce this year. Boy, they're going to be tough.
Some of them coming into the pits. Bill Elliott, all of them coming in.
All of them coming in.
There's your partners.
Yep. Pick you one. And they'll pick the one who makes a pit stop equal to them. Some of these will make better pit stops than others.
And the square dance begins on pit road. We follow Elliott onto pit road. Andretti is in. Andretti already up. All of them coming to a halt here. Here's Mike Joy.
On the right front of Bill Elliott's car, Joe Garone, who used to work with the Rick Corelli's Super Truck effort. Charles Wright on the rear, Jerry Lum with the jack, Jimmy Penland with the gas. This is a fast stop. 2 tires for Elliott. Here's Dick Berggren.
Lots of new guys on Earnhardt's pit. The front tires used to be Andy Petrie. This time it's Gene Dehart. Mike Morris, the jack man. He's new today, and they had a tough pit stop. David Hodge.
Well, that was a quick pit stop for Dale Jarrett. They changed all 4 tires, cleaned the wire on the front, and of course they put a couple of turns in that left rear spring to try and get rid of some of that push. You've got the right front fender is just slightly damaged, which is giving that push. They tried to alleviate it by changing the rear weight. Back to you, Ken.
You see Earnhardt back to speed, and here's number 7 in trouble on pit road being pushed, and there's bigger problems than...
You can see the overflow there coming back from the radiator. It was running a little bit hot while he was stopped there. You could see it spewing water out. That gets the driver's attention when it goes up on the windshield like that.
Hut Strickland on pit road. Here's Mike.
Here's that Cale Yarborough-owned car. Cale is up on top of the truck spotting today. Jeremy Mayfield behind the wheel as Fuzz Bergdorf goes to right sides. Jack Van comes around. That's Robert Fisher. Al Allen is done on the right rear. Jamie Bishop gets the second can of gas in. Left side, wheels and tires are on. 5 lug nuts. Down goes the jack, and away goes Jeremy.
Nice stop.
And the leader coming down pit road, John Andretti. Well, see, he was down pit road there a moment ago, was he not?
I thought he was the first one in.
I thought he came in with the lead.
Yeah.
He came in with the lead.
Second time
in. Back on pit road. Wow, this will be a costly situation.
Here's Dick Berggren.
Well, they're working on the right side of the car. Darrell Andrews is over there working on it. A couple of the other men, they have changed the right rear tire. Tim Brewer, what happened?
Tire changer didn't get the right rear wheel tire.
Oh, boy. Right rear wasn't on tight. They had to come back in and do it again.
That's what we were talking about before these green flags stopped, and it was an extra stop for John Andretti. So he has to stitch up his morale and try to come back into this thing from a lap down. We'll see about that.
He will probably go a lap down because the leaders are in the same corner. As he comes off and starts down the back straightaway, the leaders are in the middle of number 1 and 2 corner.
All of that drafting strategy they were planning, nobody came out with anybody else out there. Bill Elliott has a big advantage right now over Dale Jarrett.
Here's your leader at the present time with a very handsome advantage. first to second, 2 5/10 of a second. Bill Elliott over Dale Jarrett, but Jarrett is closing.
Yeah, about 3 laps ago, he was 4.5 seconds, and now Jarrett has hooked up with John Andretti, and they are closing in fast. Elliott just sitting out there running by himself, no drafting help. Now, a bunch of the cars back behind them have been able to hook up together. They came out of the pits pretty far apart, but now they've closed back in, so they've picked up a big draft there as well.
Now, Andretti is a lap down. John Andretti is in 29th position, a lap down from the leaders after that extra pit stop. But he's up there running with the front group, hoping to get a break and get himself back around. We've seen others do it lots of times, make up ground, including Bill Elliott, the man currently leading this race.
Ken, you see Bill Elliott going down through there, but these cars that are right behind him are all hooked up in a fast draft. They'll run him down within the next 2 to 3 laps unless he finds somebody that's running equal to his speed to hook up with before they get there.
Talk about close racing. All these lead changes, 21 lead changes among 13 drivers. It sure is a driver's race this year. Top 3. Top 2.
Yeah, actually,
on a lap down.
Yeah.
But you can run so much further on a set of tires now than you could before.
Oh, yeah, the tires are not a problem here. They work very well. They'll go a full stop without any problems. The biggest thing right now, look at this competition now. We're well over halfway, and they're still running side by side in the corner. And the lead group right here, there's not a loser in that bunch. Anybody could win this race still yet.
Whoa,
John Andretti sideways.
In the wall. John Andretti taking a hard hit. And fortunately, it's a single car incident, but it's a hard hit for John Andretti.
Don't know how Michael Waltrip, he might have got out of that okay. He was,
you could see close. Andretti's car running a little loose that last lap. And then this time around, back to a caution flag with Elliott in first, Jarrett second, Earnhardt third.
And Michael Waltrip definitely has some damage on his car. He's coming into the pits, and the pit road is not open right now.
In 8th position, number 21, the Wood Brothers car. There's John Andretti's demolished machine.
The fluid you see in there just behind that car, that's radiator fluid. The fuel cell did its job there. I don't see any gasoline running out of that car at all.
Damage on the nose of the number 21 for Michael Waltrip. Here's John out of his car. NASCAR officials putting out the flag. See Mike Helton there on the right. I think that's Jim Bachhoven next to him. John Andretti had led 23 laps. Then had gone a lap down, was in 27th. Take a look here.
And you can see right there, Ken, the back end breaks loose on the car, and it goes around. He was on the inside of Robert Presley, and here is Michael Waltrip down on the inside, nowhere to go, gets tagged, damage on the right front of his Ford.
Tremendous impact head on into that outside wall.
Boy, that car went up in the air a long ways there, but the right window blew out of that car as it started to spin, so that really helped it hold itself down on the racetrack.
Presley on the outside, John Andretti inside.
Right there, the car gets light on the back. You see it turn sideways. Michael hits him. That turns him directly, almost head on into the corner, into the outside wall, and the car really got up in the air. He's very lucky. You see the roof flaps deploy.
And everybody on pit road.
Earnhardt's crew back in another time. One of the best crews in the business. David Smith now running the shop. Here's Dick Bergman.
David Smith is standing behind the pit wall for the first time in some 12 years. Instead, he's got a new guy out in the right front, Gene Dehart, Jack Van, Mike Moore. Chocolate Myers is a veteran. He's put the fuel in the car, and there goes Earnhardt. Mike Joy.
Bill Elliott pulls away after getting 4 tires, and they get a really quick stop. High five all around. right here in the Elliott pit. Ricky Rudd gets a turn of wedge. And what this round of pit stops will do, Ken, it will even up the teams that stopped for 2 tires under green with the teams that stopped for 4 tires, like Ricky Rudd, who got 4 tires and then lost the draft. Now everybody has 4 fresh tires, although some teams opted here for only 2 because they just got 4 tires under green. We'll see how it sorts out in a minute, Ken.
And as you look at that,
signals.
Hand signals for sure.
Green, green, green.
You see Ricky Craven showing up in the top 10 here. He's in 7th, number 41, just in front of Schrader as they come down the line. Schrader 8, Craven 7th, Earnhardt 6th, Musgrave 5th, Kyle Petty, Mark Martin, and that's the radio of Dale Jarrett you hear on the start, with Bill Elliott showing the way.
They both went into the pits running first and second, came out of the pits running first and second. Ken, we might mention that Brett Bodine actually led a lap, at least one lap there during that caution. He stayed out, didn't make a pit stop until late, got him 5 bonus points. Brett on his own team this year, minus Junior Johnson. Drove for Junior Johnson last year, and Junior Johnson has sold out. First time since this racetrack opened back in 1959 that Junior Johnson has not been here either as a driver or as a car owner.
Junior, who won this race in its second outing, he is missed.
See Mark Martin running along here right now. He's in 3rd place. He's 4th in the lineup right there. Bodine's a lap down, but Mark Martin is running a very conservative race. He hadn't been much in the spotlight, but he's right up front now. You see him on the outside there as Dale Earnhardt starts to muscle by him on the inside.
And how about Kyle Petty running up there in the top 5? He must have been one of those that only made trouble.
Bad wreck in turn 2. That's Mike Wallace, number 90, front end gone on the Donlevy car. Let's see what else is in there. I think Brett Bodine, the man we were just talking about, who lost a car out here early on in the practice, had one burned down on him. Loy Allen is in it, and look at Mike Wallace's car. Short in front and back, racing back to the line. Elliott comes across first, Dale Jarrett second, Earnhardt third. Heavy hit on the Mike Wallace car, number 90.
The only 3 brothers sat in the race today, Mike Wallace, Kenny Wallace, and Rusty Wallace.
The good thing, you could see Mike Wallace moving around in there. He's unhooking all the equipment that you have to hook up to run a race like this, but he is moving around in the car quite well.
Apparently he's told them that he's okay. They aren't motioning for any, and here comes Mike out of the car.
That's always good news.
Started 17th today. Mike Wallace has won over, 300 short track races out in the Missouri area. Takes a look at the shambles of car number 90.
And he was one of those drivers that was still in the lead lap before this happened. So
having a good run today. Bobby Labonte may have got a piece of that too in car number 18. There's the Loy Allen car.
Let me explain. You see them all getting in the ambulance there. It's mandatory when you have an accident on major speedway that you go and have just a precautionary checkup.
And it looked like that Mike Wallace was sort of in the middle of a 3-car deal there. His car got loose, and
his car did just exactly what Andretti's did. The back end started around, and he couldn't. Boy, it's hard to catch one once it starts sideways like that.
I think the greatest save we've seen was his brother down here in the race the other day, making a save on pit road. Came down here 160 miles an hour, but was able to see. There's Bobby Labonte's car around on the inside. That's the car on the right of your screen. There's Mike on the upper side. And right behind him is Brett Bodine.
And you can see those roof flaps employed as when the car turns around and goes backwards. You can see the mayor on the 90 car, and Bobby Labonte's a little bit earlier. When the car gets backwards, then those roof flaps come up, help to hold the car down on the track.
170. Oh, there's the remains of car number 90, Junie Donlevy's car. Junie Donlevy is in his 70s now.
Yeah, about 72.
And he is probably one of the most respected car owners this game has ever had.
I don't think there's any question about it, and certainly one of the nicest people in all the world.
I won a race for him in Columbia, South Carolina one night. Junie Donlevy, you would have thought it was the Daytona 500. I've never seen a man that enjoyed winning. And you can't say enough good things about Junie Donlevy. Everybody, I guess he's had just about everybody in race and drive for him one time or another. I think he's had like 30 drivers, Ned.
He had himself a very cushy chair, and he sat up on top of the caravan over there the other day and just looked out over the race, had himself a little nap, certainly deserving of it. Junie Donlevy's car out of this, and as we mentioned earlier, Junior Johnson not here this year.
Junie's car won at Dover, Delaware with Jody Ridley at the wheel in a Winston Cup race back in 1981.
Some guy named Hobbs drove for him once, too.
Oh, my.
Parked it in second turn. In the wall. Right, David?
Well, Buddy Baker said almost everybody drove for Junie Donlevy, and he's right. I drove for Junie Donlevy in Michigan in 1976, 20 years ago.
All right.
Had a huge spin coming up turn 4, spun right in the pit lane, and Junie thought I was great driving. I didn't like to tell him, it's just that's the way it ended up. Back to you in racing, Ken.
All right. 140 laps complete as they go back to green with Elliott, Jarrett, Earnhardt, the top three. Mark Martin is in fourth. Ricky Craven, the sophomore, out of Newburgh, Maine, up into fifth spot. Kyle Petty into sixth. Ken Schrader, seventh. Musgrave, eighth. Ricky Rudd is ninth. And Rusty Wallace from dead last, up to 10th position. And he's already been in one scrape today and right back into the top 10.
Low on Bill Elliott. He wants to go for the lead. Dale Earnhardt's coming with you.
Schrader looking high and low for place to run. And look at Jarrett carry the Ford up in front. That Quality Care Ford credit card back in front with Earnhardt right there in second.
Boy, what a great shot there. You could see Earnhardt's car gaining up on Jarrett as they start into turn one. Look at this, 3 wide down in the middle of turn one.
Ooh. That is close, and that is not good. Get out of there, Kyle. Get in single file or in double file.
And all of a sudden, Kyle Petty becomes a big factor. Oh, that's close. One car driven on the pit road. That is Kenny Wallace wide open at 160. He got bumped coming down out of 4. And he does a duplicate, a replay of what his brother did. Looked like 97 squeezed him a little there. Whoa.
After some heads-up driving, he saw his brother do it here on Thursday in the 125-mile qualifiers.
And you know those brothers, anything you can do, I can do better. Boy. We'll take a look at a replay in a moment. Meanwhile, up in front, Earnhardt and Jarrett back at it again.
Dale and Dale show. And those fans are loving it.
It's a Dale and Dale show for the moment, but there's a lot of other ingredients just behind this.
You're right, buddy.
Take a look at this replay, folks, of what just happened up here in turn 4. That's Kenny Wallace in the 81. Just gets bumped, and he made the absolute right decision. Anything else would have been disaster.
It absolutely would. If he would have gotten on the grass, he would have had no control over the car. He just steered her right down pit road, kept his foot in the accelerator, and kept going. Let's go to the pits and David Hobbs.
Well, the third player in that schmozzle up there in turn 2 and 3 was Brett Bodine. Boy, this is your first race as a team owner, and this week's not turned out too good.
Well, it really hasn't, but, you know, we're not going to give up, David. Every time we had a misfortune and having to bring out another car, this team brought out a better car, and today we had a darn good one. This Lowe's Thunderbird was really running well. You know, we started dead last, worked ourselves right up into the top 15, and the car was very comfortable. We just made a mistake on pit road and lost a lot of track position, and that's what got us back there where the trouble was on this particular accident.
Well, there's a very confident new team owner, Brett Bodine. Back to you, Ken.
For the lead, side by side, Jarrett in the 88. Earnhardt on the outside, but mixing it up now, here comes the man from Dawsonville, Georgia.
Yeah, Bill Elliott pulled up behind Dale Jarrett and just gave him the push that he needed to go right on around Dale Earnhardt. And as Buddy said, those Fords sort of gaining up on Earnhardt there right now. You got Elliott, you got Mark Martin back there, and Jeff Burton is right behind him. Ken Schrader, he is in the mix there right behind Earnhardt now.
Reviewing the front of the field, Jarrett, Earnhardt, Elliott, Martin, Schrader, Kyle Petty, Ricky Craven, Ricky Rudd, Morgan Shepherd, all up here in this group and more.
Everybody's got good race cars, and if you get to the outside, it looks like you're just in trouble because they make the move pretty easy. Look at Schrader's hands here through the corner. Very, very nice. The car is very stable. As he comes off the corner, you'll see him just straighten up a little bit to go down the straightaway. Up.
That is Bodine tagging Lake Speed, catching Jeff Purvis in the 44, the guy that won that race 200-miler a week ago. And it looks like Robert Presley's been caught as well.
Bobby Hamilton is involved in it. Chad Little, Morgan Shepherd.
Ooh. Big incident in turn 4. That'll be caution number 6 this afternoon. Up.
There's Morgan Shepherd.
Oh, Raymock car. That's his first time out in this ride. He's driven for them before. And there you see the 44 car, and there is Jeff Bodine.
Yep. Tough luck.
That kind of says it all.
Yep, new sponsor this year. Just got caught up in something not of his own making. I guess not. We'll take a look here and see what happened. But
replay. Watch the 7, bottom of the racetrack.
Well, they were trying to go 3 wide.
There by Bodine on the left rear corner.
Bodine goes all the way to the wall.
See Jeff Purvis there spinning in the 44.
Chad Little in the 97. Sterling Cowboy is just along for the ride at that point, getting taken to the wall. That looks like Bobby Hamilton in there down pit road.
Yep.
Or Robert Presley. Morgan Shepherd's car getting collected just on the end of that wreck. Got a low angle look from inside turn 4 here, buddy, that give you a pretty good idea what happened.
Wow.
Ooh.
Jeff Bodine hit very hard on the outside wall. He gets into Chad Little there. See Jeff Purvis in the 44 car spinning round and round as he's coming at the camera. There's a car of Richard Petty, Bobby Hamilton driving it. He's spinning down through the grass.
Chad Little was in 23rd when that incident happened. And here's pit road getting big activity. This is on lap 160.
Yeah, it should be their last pit stop, and they certainly making on fuel as far as that is concerned. Let's go to the pits and Dick Burkett.
Earnhardt, a very cool move. He took only 2 tires, just the outside tires, gas, and he's gone. Mike Joy.
Bill Elliott gets 4 tires. So does Jerry Mayfield, and Ricky Rudd told his crew he needed 4 tires to make it all the way. These drivers will lose track position, but they'll be set to go the distance. Ken?
100 miles left in this one. Ooh. Off the jack, number 94, away. Bill Elliott. See what he's going to do.
Well, those Hendrick engines are strong, no doubt about that. Let's establish the fact that some of those cars that were involved, Jeff Purvis is back out there. Brett Bodine, who was involved in one of the other accidents, he's back out there now in his car trying to make some laps. So not all of those that were involved in the last couple of accidents have gone to the garage area.
Getting ready to wave green. Get this one underway. Ricky Craven has said he's running this 500 for Travis Roy, one of his great friends, a fine young hockey player, was injured in his very first game playing for Boston University. And Craven has carried those colors right up into the front as we get ready for the final moments of this 1996 38th annual Daytona 500, and Craven pulls him by a couple of car lengths. The him, of course, in capital letters, Earnhardt.
And the third place car there is Michael Waltrip. We saw the damage on his Ford a little bit earlier. They worked on it a lot, but he's right up there now. But I don't know, Buddy, if he can hang on with all that damage that he has to the car.
The only chance he has, Ned, is to get very close in the draft and try to tuck up under somebody, because he has a lot of aerodynamic damage to the right front, as you can see as he comes off turn 4 there.
Look at Jarrett. Look to the inside of Johnny Benson running a lap down. Johnny Benson in that Bahari number 30 in the middle of that and sporting his way through on the bottom. Here comes Jarrett again. Meanwhile, up in front for the lead, Craven on the bottom. To the top comes Earnhardt.
I think Craven's going to let Earnhardt go and try to draft him, and Michael Waltrip goes very high around the outside of Craven. Jarrett sort of got caught down on the inside. Thought he had a run there to get him up to second. Didn't quite work.
It's going to be a good year for us. Not a good way to start out, but all you QVC fans, don't worry. We're going to get rolling next week. And call in. Remember, I need a new car. You got to buy some stuff so I can pay for this.
Oh, my heart. There he goes.
Job
again.
QVC.
Jeff Bodine using the David Hobbs philosophy at Le Mans. Always get home by dinner. Tough to see you go, Jeff. Back to you, Ken.
Take a look at that move by the Wood brothers, number 21. That was some piece of driving by Michael Waltrip, and he's up into second place.
I tell you what, if I was the Wood Brothers, the next car that I built, I would bend the front end up just like that, because that car is really strong.
Well, here comes Jarrett back on the inside once again. Michael was able to get a run when Ken Schrader run up on the outside of Jarrett, and now Schrader's up on the outside of Earnhardt.
The one thing I've noticed, Ned, is that Kenny Schrader's strong enough to make us move without a great deal of help from anybody. He passed 2 or 3 cars to get himself into second place here, but Earnhardt's another case here. You see that Dale Jarrett is running right under Earnhardt's back there. We'll just have to see who really has the muscle now.
Well, you wonder if that's high groove might be coming in a little bit here now. Most of them have been running the low groove up to this point.
That's a great point, and that's where Wallace worked his way up through. That's where Schrader's working now.
Mark Martin helping Schrader to try to get by Earnhardt as they go down into turn 1.
Well, there's the interval, and you're looking at the interval from first back to about 20th. Here's Mike Joy.
Ken, a deal was made during the caution flag. Dale Jarrett, Kenny Schrader, and Mark Martin agreed on the radio they would work together. Jarrett threw the deal out the window as soon as they dropped the green, but Schrader and Martin have hung together and gotten to the front that way, Ken.
Schrader and Martin are definitely there. And now it's Schrader just in front of Jarrett, a brother of Earnhardt, and then Jarrett back there in third. Jeff Burton's a factor again. Dale Earnhardt taking the lead another time here in the Daytona 500 with 172, now more than that, 25 laps to go, they say. And of course, a couple of years ago, he came out here and drove so hard, trying to put Neil Bonnet's death on this track into focus, trying to move at a speed to replace loss. Ooh, that is Earnhardt, and that's his nature.
Here's Jarrett going on the high side of Earnhardt. He started to dip low, buddy, and Earnhardt blocked him off, so he decided to go to the high side.
Yeah, he's got some help, too. Dallenbach is moving in on the outside there. If they stick together, that's 2 Fords, and you see Dallenbach moving up on the back of Dale Jarrett. Dale moved over just as he got there.
And moves back.
I think he realized what he had just done and moved back over to help Dallenbach again.
Yep.
What a great drive by Wally Dallenbach in second place now.
He doesn't have that much experience in drafting. He has a couple of years experience in Winston Cup racing, but not drafting up front. He's doing a great job.
Drop down near the apron and peel out.
Well, the only team cars I see out there is the number 6 of Mark Martin, and right behind him is Jeff Burton. The rest of them are out there on their own right now. But I'll be honest with you, right now it looks like the first 2 cars, it's going to be tough to come from where they're at and win this race.
Kyle Petty back in 18th, goes a lap down.
Earnhardt looks to the inside. Doesn't work.
So does Dale Jarrett.
Well, take your choice, folks. This is it. It's the Dale and Dale show once again. Ford is out in front. Chevy is in second. 18 years of trying for Earnhardt. He's there. He's in front. He'll use anything he's got to take this one out of the fire. Jarrett, very much his own man. Ned Jarrett has said that Dale Jarrett, his son, is a much better race driver than he ever dreamed of being because he's such a great athlete. He's taken a lot of bad with the good because of his name. But he's proven he's his own man. Here comes Earnhardt on the outside.
2 laps to go.
And Schrader, all that trouble last year, time after time, engines erupting, the terrible crash at Talladega, and he kept on coming back. And here he is riding in third. Is there enough in that 25 to pull the upset? And Mark Martin has fought his way from 18th back into the top 4.
Ken, we've seen 4 abreast racing here all week long in practice. It may come down to that on the last lap. You never know.
They are getting tight. Elliott coming up on the outside. He wants to get in the thick of this thing. Here they come for the white flag one more time.
1 to go. How about it, Ned? See if he can bring him home.
Well, he's got to do what he's been doing, block them all the way. That Ford is running awfully good. And like I told you in 1993, Dale, keep her down on the inside. Don't let him get down there, but he might try to come up on the outside coming off the turn. Here it is, the Dale and Dale show once again here at Daytona. Earnhardt trying to make a move. Look at him switch back and forth. Jarrett blocks him one more time. Here comes Earnhardt to the inside, but he can't make the move. And the Chevrolets race each other back there. Jarrett hanging on down on the inside. Come on, Dale. Put it in the middle, buddy. Do all you can. Winning 2 Daytona 500s will be too much. Here he comes to the line, and Dale Jarrett is going to pull it off at Daytona, his second Daytona 500 win. Wow. Man, it was almost as good as it was the first time.
Driven Robbie Yates' car to victory here in the Daytona 500. Ankle cuff coming off. And here he comes out of the car for the second time.